Hey everybody, I wanted to give another quickie little video to help you with your Excel because with this week, it's using Excel a lot, kind of like a database, really. And Excel is what's known as a flat database. It means what you see on this screen, that's all you got. There's no other connections to any other tables. Now, if you want to work with databases in Microsoft Office, you need to use Access. Access is a lot more intense, but it's more built to be a database. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I call the many faces of the mouse where you put the mouse changes the face of it. Like right now, if you look, my mouse is a pointer. If I click here, it turns into a fat plus. I call it like the red cross plus, even though it's white. It's fat. That's how you highlight. The white cross means you're highlighting. You're not doing anything else. You're just highlighting cells. See, I'm going like this. I'm highlighting. Now, if I click and put my mouse on an edge, not a corner, but an edge, and click and drag, I'm moving. That's also copying, but I don't want to get into that right now. So that's how you move. Now over here, as you can see at the top, you see how column A says day of the week up here, but you can't see it down there. That's because the column's not big enough. They talk about widening the columns. I'm going to show you a little trick. If you put your mouse between the A and the B, not here, not in the column itself, but up at the top, the column heading, it turns into what I call the thorny plus. It's got two arrows going this way. If you double click, bam, it makes it as wide as it has to be. You could also click and drag. That will do the same thing, but I like using the auto fit. See, everything's called auto something. That way, it automatically gets as big as I need it to be. Now, I showed you this previously, but I'm going to review it. This is the thin plus. What does the thin plus do? The thin plus is basically a copy function. When I put it on words that the system doesn't recognize, and I click and drag down, it just simply copies straight down. It also works going across. You can't do both directions at the same time. That's the one drawback of the thin plus. You can only go either down or across, but you can't go diagonally. The other cool thing about the thin plus is if I type this, Monday, system knows Monday. It recognizes that word. It's an inputted list. When I grab the thin plus and I pull down, look what it does. It types them all in there for me because it knows what Monday is. I could also type mon, and if I pull the pimple down, it follows the same thing. Now, I doubt very highly it's going to if you put an M, it's going to know what that means. We could try it, but I think an M is just too little. An M to the system is just a letter. Yeah, see, it just knew it as M straight down. So when you do, it just saves you time. Monday. So you grab the little thin plus, I call it the pimple because it's called the autofill handle. Everything's auto something or other. Just go like that, bam, you did it. And that's the many faces of the mouse. Now, the other thing is what I want to show you is, I'm just going to put the numbers in here. I know they're not the numbers you're using. What I want to show you is using Excel as a database. This is a database. I can sort this under data. I can do things like sorting over here, high to low, low to high. Don't worry, we're not getting into all this, but I want to show you, you're starting to get into the more advanced features of Excel with this. This is the thing about a database. I'm just going to give you one little tidbit here, is you wouldn't have anything like this. You don't have gaps in the data. Some people put gaps in there just to make it look nicer. The problem is if you insert gaps in here, the system can't see that as one continuous chunk of data. So if I come down here and hit the crooked E, that's a sigma, see, it's stopped here because I got gaps here. It doesn't know what to do. It's like, oh, I'm only going to add that up. What you want to do is when you're doing data or even doing formulas like this, keep it nice and tight. Another little trick, do this. Highlight the column headings. By the way, columns go up and down, rows go across. When you do the column headings, bold them. Why? Because now the system can see these are completely different than these. Most of the time, the system understands these are the headings for your columns, but sometimes it doesn't. So what you do is you make them look completely different. You bold them. So there you go. And once again, if you want to use the crooked E, if you just click here, it shows you what it's about to add up, and then you click again, it puts it in there for you. And one other little trick I want to show you. Let's say I want to insert Sunday in here. I'm going to go here, I'm going to go right click, and I'm choosing insert. I can click here and pull the pimple down. It knows Sunday comes next. And I'm going to put 3. I hit enter. On older versions of this, If you put the 3 in here, it would not have entered it in. They fixed that issue. But if you have an older version, it might not put that in there because B9 in this case was outside the original range. The original range says B2 to B8. Because you put B9 there, it was outside the original range. So just to tell you, that could be an issue with older versions. I think all of you have 365, so you should be fine. Okay, so that was it. I just wanted to show you those little things. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.